Hello there. I'm Scotty, and you're not. And we're trucking along. I picked Peacock, and so I looked on Peacock to try to find something to watch. And I happened across a movie called Dante's Peak. Movie from a disaster movie from 1997, starring Pierce Brosnan and Linda Hamilton, which I had heard about, and I had seen part of this before. Part where they're in the boat and stuff, because I played this on TV a little bit back in the 90s and stuff. So it tells the story of Dr. Harry Dalton, a volcanologist who is sent to the small town of Dante's Peak after some seismic activity happened, and he needs to determine if the volcano is going to erupt or is just regular seismic activity, I guess. And of course, as you would expect, it doesn't go the way they want it to. It's not just seismic activity, and we have big volcano stuff. So yeah, I enjoyed this movie. I'm gonna go ahead and list my problems with it because I only have a couple things. Otherwise, I enjoyed this movie. So this falls into the category of every other disaster movie. Something is going to happen. There's someone warning in it that's going to happen, and there are people that just will straight up believe it. In Jaws, it was the sheriff, trying to tell everyone there's a shark, and say, no, it's not a shark, and he's, because he had tourism. In this one, you have Harry Dalton, the volcanologist. He's sent there to look at the stuff, and he starts to, find signs that something is going on here. There's a dead couple in a boiling hot spring, dead animals, dead trees, seismic activity. Something's happening. But when his boss, Paul, who was Norris from John Carpenter's The Thing, by the way, shows up, he's like, no, we don't want to get these people riled up. And then they start doing their geological survey, and they can't find anything. And no, I think he just blew it out of proportion. But of course, because Norris, Paul is the character's name, because Paul refused to do anything about it. And it's like, no, there's nothing going on here, and they're about ready to pack up. It's a little too late, and shit goes down. Now, speaking of shit going down, that's one of my other problems here. Is it seems like this thing is on cue. Because you say, oh, there's something going on. They find that the water supply has been contaminated. And the next day, they hold a town meeting where they're going to tell people that we're going to have to evacuate. But quite conveniently, as soon as they say, we're going to need to get out of here, and we're going to need to evacuate, take precautions to evacuate, there's an earthquake. There's shaking. Volcano goes off. And it's like, really? Like, coincidentally, right as you were telling these people, like, I understand it's about, the point of that is, oh, they were, he tried to warn them, they didn't listen, and then now it's too late and stuff's happening. But, and I have to point out two scenes that are a bit nitpicks. But there's one scene where they go to get the grandmother, the mother-in-law, whatever, and they get her, and both their cars get taken by the lava, right? So they hop in this boat, and they find out that the water is acidic. So Grandma jumps into the water to push the boat further. But then, instead of just jumping on the dock, right, where she'd be safe, she walks around the dock. I'm like, jump on the dock. I know it collapses shortly afterward, but she didn't know that. And like, she's walking around, and then as a result, she ends up dying from her wounds, her acid to the legs, which I really don't think you would die from that. I don't know, but she's the mother-in-law of Linda Hamilton's character, the mayor, and mother-in-law thing, and she apologizes to her for it. Sorry, I got a pimple on my arm. For her son and what happened, and then she dies right in front of the kids. And yeah, the other one is they're driving away, right? This is a combination of things because it happens around the same time. They're trying to drive down the mountain, but then they come to this place where there's a bunch of lava that has engulfed it. So Pierce Brosnan here, the genius that he is, Harry Dalton, the genius that he is, decides to drive on the lava. What? It doesn't work. The tires go pfft, and a lit up fire, and then the dog is still alive, despite the fact that it shouldn't be alive. It should be dead by now, but it's there. Oh, we have to save the dog. We have to save the dog. So she goes out and jumps to save the dog, and it's like, okay, but does the dog even survive? Because they get trapped in a mine. This mine they showed earlier that the kid who's Griffin from, the son, is Griffin from Caitlin's Way. Which is pretty cool. But, yeah, he was hiding out there at the beginning of the movie. I do like that they do switch it up, because more often than not, it's the older daughter, younger brother thing, like in Eight-Legged Freaks and stuff like that, where here, the brother's older. And at the beginning of this, I don't know if it's the editing that's bad, but like, you see Linda Hamilton, she's talking to her daughter. And she's like, where's your brother? Where do you think he is? No, I know where he is. And then we cut to the couple at the hot spring. One of them is played by Michael Venditti, who is in 21 Jump Street and Netherworld. He's in that movie I just reviewed. And I'm like, he's the old brother? That's cool. No, he wasn't the old brother. He was just showing you the couple. And they're in the hot spring, and it starts to boil. And then we find out that the brother is Griffin. And I'm like, wait, what was the point of that couple? We'll find out later. They go in there, and they go up there to the mountain to get Grandma. For some reason, like, oh, let's go see Grandma. When she just met this guy and talking about the seismic activity. He's going up there anyway, but I want to see Grandma. And they're like, oh, let's go for a dip in the hot spring. I'm like, this can only end badly. So they go up there, they find there's dead animals. And Harry sees that the thing is bubbling. And before Griffin goes to jump in, I keep calling him that, he stops him because he could die that way. And then later, they go up to the top of the mountain to do some surveying with this spider machine thing, which they left up there, by the way. I don't think they ever got it back, but it stops working, so not Jon Favreau I thought it was him, but then I thought 97 Favreau would have been skinnier, but not Jon Favreau here has to go down. And he has to try to stop it. But then there's an earthquake, and he gets stuck underneath, and so now they had to save him, and he's got a bum leg for the rest of the movie. And you think, oh, he's gonna get swallowed up by the lava when they're trying to leave. No, he survives, but Paul doesn't, because Paul is an idiot. One, for not listening to Harry when he kept telling him something's going on. It's always that way in disaster movies. This guy's gonna happen. No, it's not. No, it's not. Same thing with Titanic. No, it's not. And then it's too late and people die. You know, people in disaster movies, if y'all listened, these disasters wouldn't be as, destructive. I don't know how they would have done with Titanic, though. Like, keep telling them that, oh, this can't sink, let's speed it up. And, yeah. But, yeah. So, what happens is, Paul, they're driving out, and the dam breaks, and it starts to wash up this bridge. And, Paul is disconnected from the others. They jump, but he's not able to get traction. So he's stuck there. Instead of getting out and jumping down, he sits there trying to push on the gas. And they're like, get out, get out. And he does, but it's too late, and he gets, and he dies. And this was a powerful death until they ruined it. This got me at first. I was welling up because, his co-workers, his friends, they're watching him die. And they had to ruin it by adding in a Wilhelm scream when he fell. Are you kidding me? Really? Yeah, he was that like, no, Paul. Yeah, he had a connection with the main character. He had a connection with the others, and then ah, whatever. Like, really? You added a Wilhelm scream? You didn't need to add that in. It was fine without it. But yeah, the movie ends with them. It's a happy ending thing. Although I thought they were gonna die when they're on the lava, driving on the lava. Like, this is how they die because of his stupidity. They don't die. And then they do this thing where he gets out. See him had to get the beacon, and that's how they find him. And he gets out. Harry gets out, and he gets reconnected with his, geology peoples. And then they're like, he's like, she and the man and her kids are still in there. And then they find him. Although I don't see the dog, so did the dog die, or did they just forget that the dog needed to be in that scene? Because I don't know. But yeah, I actually enjoyed this movie. There were some things, but I enjoyed most of it. There's a lot of talking at the beginning, and then it just boom towards the end of the movie with the volcano. And yeah, I'm gonna say that when it comes to Dante's Peak, it's pretty good. So now, let's go. Get us something good. We're getting down to the nitty gritty here, people. We have WWE Studios, and I have one picked out. I picked out all the ones that I had on physical media to do. So so yeah, so what are your thoughts on Dante's Peak? Let me know in the comments below. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching. I've been Scotty, and I'll see you in the next one.